Hello friends, welcome back to Rose Tarot and Astrology. I am your host, Mel Rose, and this is your two-card reading for Sunday, December 17, 2023. The Sun is in Sagittarius with Mars. We are in the final days of the Sun's transit through Sagittarius. Is going to enter Capricorn on Thursday with the winter solstice, longest night of the year. Very exciting to be getting down to this celebration so that we can watch the days start to grow again, watch the nights get a little bit shorter, get a little more sunshine, real sunshine in our lives. So the moon is in Pisces. If you want to know more about the astrology, I ask that you go check out my Astrology Today videos. They're right there on the channel next to this video. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, click for notifications, then you will know every time I post daily astrology and tarot content. And if I seem a little nervous and strange right now, it's because I'm about to do this a little differently than I usually do. Normally I shuffle these cards and I lay two out while we're talking, but I'll be honest with you guys. Sometimes I start to do a reading here and I'm so uncomfortable with the content of the reading that I stop and I start over again. And so you probably get a lot of really positive and optimistic readings from me because, you know, it'll be like the second or the third time I've pulled cards, and by then I feel like the cards are frustrated with me and they're just like, okay, I'll give you something positive so you can get on with it. Or maybe that's, you know, sort of what my psyche is bringing out in the reading. However that happens. Today I got a couple of cards that I was pretty uncomfortable with, and I ended the reading a few minutes in, and I'm gonna go back to the same cards and see if I can give a proper reading of these cards, because it's a message that keeps coming up. This is actually a reading that's come out for me 2 or 3 days in a row, and I have skipped it because I'm challenged. Okay, I'm challenged by it. So I invite you to let me know how you feel about it, what you take from it, what you read from it. There's a special card in here that's not one that we all always work with. So here we go. The first card is, well, they came out like this. So the first card was the moon today. And for me, the moon is about self-reflection. It's about doing the inner work, but also just sort of thinking about how things feel to you, how things occur to you, what your experience is, prioritizing your experience as a topic for deep inspection, right? And when we prioritize our own experience as a topic for deep inspection, we sometimes sort of learn things about ourselves and about how we are, how we are on our own, but more importantly, how we interact in the world, how we are in relationship to other people. So this is about your relationship with yourself, and when you take those inward turns, then you get to, when you take those inward turns, it's about the relationship that you have with yourself, and you can heal your relationship with yourself. You can have conversations with yourself that, you know, are compassionate and forgiving and kind, so that you can emerge from that reflection, feeling more whole, feeling more wholesome, feeling more like really the beautiful feeling person that you are. I love the holographic film on these, so I like to pick them up and let them shine for you. And then this card is the Well. It's number 22 in the Major Arcana out of 23 in this deck. So that's a special card. It comes from the Ethereal Visions Tarot, Luna edition. That's the Empress of the Ethereal Visions Tarot. So the Well is another kind of reflection. And this brings me back to I loved those Marion Zimmer Bradley books, The Mists of Avalon and the ones that accompanied them. They were written almost in a romantic style. They very much romanticized pagan Britain and that time when Britain had Christianity sort of came in with the Romans and then the Romans disappeared. And so Britain was still sort of pagan and Christian at that time, and there definitely were still people who practiced, you know, in groups, in schools, who taught basically nature-based spiritual practices to one another. And there's a well that features in those books that's for scrying. It's for getting information about the outer world. So in a way, to me, this card relates to the internet. Like, we don't have to go stare into a bowl and see what frequencies we can pick up from the world. And some of us still do that. You know, I do engage in divinatory practices. That's what tarot is. It's like peering into a bowl, or, you know, it's like peering into a crystal ball and seeing what sort of intuitive information I can gather from the images before me. And that's what the well is about. It's about divination. So it's a different kind of reflection. It is a turning within. It is a deep inspection, but it's a deep inspection of what the subtle energies around me are informing me about at this time. So I can sort of reach out my intuitive tentacles as far as I can manage to reach them out, depending on, you know, sort of how practiced I am or how naturally that comes to me. I can reach out my intuitive feelers and see what kind of information might be in the air around me. And sometimes it comes into my mind like an image, like a flash of light, like a voice telling me some information, or, you know, just an impression that says we should take a right turn here instead of a left turn. So, you know, and the more you engage in that kind of reflection, the more you build your strength in terms of being able to pick up the information around you. This is why people like me use divinatory practices like astrology and tarot. I have used bowl scrying before. I really get a lot of information, like if I stare across the ripples on a lake. I love the sunlight on the lake or the moonlight on the lake. And I really get a lot of information, like if I stare at the trees, when the wind is blowing in the trees. That kind of stuff sort of, distracts the analytical mind in such a way that you become less aware of what's happening directly around you and more aware of what the subtle information is. It's almost like being open to beauty. Friends, we got there. Be open to beauty. Be open to the beauty within yourself, okay? And be open to the beauty that is around you. And tap into that as a resource for picking up subtle information, picking up intuitive information about yourself, about the people and circumstances around you, about what's happening now, what's coming up, how people are feeling, and that will inform how you can move forward powerfully in the world, prioritizing your own experience, while also being a benefit and a boon to those around you. Wow. It was a long walk. I'm glad you stuck with me. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly appreciate your presence, friends, and I will catch you all in the next video.